All right, and we are live. So, hello and welcome everyone. We will wait a couple more seconds so everyone can join in on Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to the stream. We have some very exciting news to showcase you. Stay tuned for this. Um, and I can see that we have our first viewers. So, hello and welcome again. Let's kick right off. We have very exciting things. We will start off with some OpenAI news, and then we will also look into Gemini 1.5. But let's get started with Sora. So I'm sure that everyone has seen some kind of preview about this by now. Um, it's a video generation model coming from OpenAI, and it's pretty amazing. We can have a look at some examples right here. So this is just the prompt was a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm glowing neon and animated city signage, and some more details. And yeah, I must say the quality of these generations is just insane. Um, basically a year back in time, and we had these crazy images or gifs of Will Smith eating spaghetti. That was the state of the art video generation at the time. And now we have this as a great comparison. And the examples right here are just super, super awesome, high quality. We had tons of kind of looks at other video generation models in these streams. And we had just so many problems. We had flickering, we had crazy things that just popped right into the image. There were a lot of different techniques on how to do this. But yeah, this is just, I guess, the new state of the art. I mean, look at this. This is just amazing. Uh, right here we have this short movie trailer. And something that I also want to note here is that we actually have this temporal consistency or coherence between actual frames, or not frames, but between
Takes.
shots, between
Yes.
takes.
Yes.
So this character right here is still looking the same in the next shot, which is super awesome to have. So right
But not
here,
just that, I was reading something, sorry to cut you off, but I was reading something about what like Sora is more than just like generation. Like it's like physics simulator, like computer inside the models, not literally, of course, but the fact that like it needs to understand like the physics behind everything that happens like within the takes, right? Like how things move, how things respond, like waves, for example. It's crazy.
yes,
It's not just like generating the image that looks like next to what it's happening right now, because you know how the fusion models work, right?
mhm,
So it's also knowing like how would it like react under these or that stimuli, right?
yeah,
So it's just insane once you like properly conceptualize everything that like has to go through like these to generate this that looks so natural. And like you were saying a year ago, but like not even a year ago, anything before Sora, the day before they released this was far behind
yeah,
like anything we're looking at right now, which is insane. Like the bird, like just also
yeah.
there's one about the dog in the windows. I don't know if you've seen it.
Um, Maybe we will come to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also worth to mention that actually the aspect ratio is not set. So we've seen a lot of video generation models that have like a one-to-one aspect ratio with a set pixel length on each side. But this is not the case right here. Right
Hmm.
here, you can really choose the aspect ratio that you want, and you will still be able to generate a good-looking video, which is super useful for all kinds of things because we have different screen sizes everywhere. We have mobile, we have desktop PCs, laptops, everything. Having this possibility to actually generate different aspect ratios is very nice.
I saw a picture that was like something like me in the courtroom in 2026 watching a video of a crime I didn't commit in a place I've never been, like perfectly 100% accurate, generated by AI.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it is, yes, like of course, like this makes you wonder like what can you do with this. It's crazy, like good, like It's yeah, it's like it leaves you speechless. Like that, I think that's the
Hmm.
best description of it. It's very very good. It's very very
Yeah,
exciting, also
yeah,
refreshing. You know.
yeah. That's for sure. I really hope that they're currently doing the safety testing, and then they hopefully will release this very soon. And maybe by the end of the year, we will have like feature-length movies that are fully AI generated. I'm super excited for this.
I mean, we
Um,
already had short movies fully AI generated, but they were,
yeah,
you could
yeah.
100% see like the AI generation. Also, this very popular commercial that they made about, I don't remember what it was, but it was
Yeah,
super
some
creepy.
beer and some truck
Yeah,
company, yeah,
yeah,
advertisements
yeah.
I've seen.
But
Um,
definitely game changing. This like,
yeah, this is definitely just on another level. The amount of detail and also the kind of instruction following from prompts works really well.
mhm.
So yeah, that's super exciting. Also, this kind of animated style is working really well.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much time would have like taken a person to do that,
Yeah, a
right?
very long time. I did one module of 3D animation in university, and it was a pain. Um, but yeah, this is just
Yes.
awesome. Also, this small market right here.
I don't think animators think the same as you.
Yeah, they're scared probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Whoa,
or
whoa! But did you see that in that video? Like the change, like people were small and then like giant. Like put it again to the beginning. How like people are small, but see the like
yeah,
the yes,
like the comparison right here
yes,
of this
yes.
woman to here. Yeah, it's not perfect.
No, no, no. I'm
But
not criticizing it. It's just interesting that it handles like this kind of like change of
mhm, mhm.
perspective. Hmm.
This actually maybe opens up more possibilities in filmmaking. These kinds of crazy transitions that were
Yeah,
not really possible before. Um, yeah, this is pretty awesome. And I've also seen some examples where you can actually have an input video and an output video, and then the model kind of fuses these two together into a single video, and it really shows how good the 3D understanding of the model is.
yeah,
That's super awesome. I'm not sure if this is here in the examples. This is also pretty cute. Yeah, this is also pretty crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
here
They
we have
change the
this.
settings to a jungle or etc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Uh, yeah, this is also pretty good.
This one, the reflection is just crazy in the last one. Like that you can
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
reflection and the people behind and the like
yeah,
girl recording. Yeah, that's just crazy.
yeah, for sure. Let's see what else is here. All these water videos are always super creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also pretty cool. Not sure what this is supposed to be. Paper
It's
airplanes.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, this is also very good. Super impressive overall. Yeah, and let's
Yes.
see what else is there. Let's maybe have a look at these. Um, yeah, super realistic, but also great for this kind of animation style. Here we have this close up, also looks very nice. And it's also important to say that they are implementing a feature where they can actually kind of track if a video is AI generated. Um, for Dolly, the only thing we had was this kind of watermark in the bottom right corner, but they will implement some more things here that actually makes it easier to track down AI generated footage. Let's see what else is here. Here, this is, for example, super trippy. So we have this kind of recording of
Yeah.
these young wolves, I guess. And we have a look, they just spawn out of nothing. So this is
In
pretty interesting.
the you had one before with red pandas that was also like the same. There was like a red panda spawner in the video. But yeah, yeah, it gets trippy.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and here we have a example of the physics. Okay. So yeah, it's not perfect. You can see that the ball is going right through the what's it called, ring.
Yeah,
And there was one more example. Yeah, this one is also very good.
this one.
So,
Yeah,
um, so
it's
yeah,
a
they,
self-multiplying, self-healing plastic chair.
yeah, yeah, super cool. Now it's flying, so you can see that the model starts to understand physics, but yeah, in a kind of never seen situation like this, it
It's
gets very
like
hard to.
before with the image generation one that we had like make someone eating pasta and it made like people like crouching eating pasta like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
caveman
exactly.
just because he didn't understand how you eat pasta. He knew what pasta was, what eating was, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I guess it's the same. This is the one I was talking about. Like that looks crazy real.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, you can see some issues. Like there's like the window open there, and then the dog suddenly goes like it becomes flat for the dog to go through it. I don't know if that makes sense
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But it's still like I think it's still super good.
yeah, very impressive. What else do we have here? Small little otter surfing. Also this one right here. Yeah, so I'm super hyped to actually try this out myself at some point, hopefully soon. Yeah, just to see all the limitations, kind of where it fails. It seems like this kind of generic footage works really well because it's probably a lot in the training data. But
Yeah.
as soon as you get like complicated physics in there, it kind of starts to fail. Um, but yeah, just shots like this are working perfectly fine. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
very
Also, I
hard to
wonder
spot here
how
if this is AI
how does the
generated.
training data looks like. But
Uh,
yes, you're right. That's very hard to spot that that's AI. That looks like a scene from Harry
yeah,
Potter.
yeah. They also released this technical report, and they don't really talk about the training data too much, probably because most of it is copyrighted, just as all the text that went into GPT models. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope Google will follow with a video generation model because they have basically all of YouTube as training data. And I'm sure that you can make a great model out of this. So yeah, they share some more research techniques. Also interesting that Sora builds on past research of Dolly models. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's really this kind of compounding knowledge that now helps building these new kinds of
Yeah.
models.
Yeah, I mean, it is a diffusion model, as far as I remember that I
Yes,
read it somewhere. So,
it's a
of course, I
combination
guess,
of the fusion and transformer.
yeah. So, yeah, I guess there's a lot there from what they already knew from GPT and and DALI uh, to be applied here, right? I mean, who knows? I might be completely wrong. I would love to read anything they have released, and I highly suggest for everyone watching
Hmm.
to read because reading these things it's really worth like your time, especially with something so like groundbreaking like this. But yeah, it just raises a lot of questions, right? Like how expensive it's to run this, how expensive was to
Yeah,
train this,
yeah,
how accessible is this going to be, right?
yeah.
So
Unfortunately, they don't
it-
really go into these details. But yeah, I would also love to know these numbers.
yeah. I mean, because sure, it creates things like amazing, but is it going to be accessible? Like, because imagine it cost, I don't know, $100 per second of generation, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
This is a
it's
crazy number I'm
possible.
saying. Yeah, like exactly. So maybe this is not really going to be something people will be able to use, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have $1,000 like there in my desk to make a 10-second video.
I mean,
But who knows? Maybe it's 1 cent per second, right? And then it becomes completely the opposite.
we
Like
could
people
do
are
a
going to
quick
start.
thought
uh,
experiment around this. So we can
Okay.
check for the only three pricing, and you can
You want to
see.
make generation per second per frame to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how much.
Let's calculate with like 24 frames per second in let's say, what kind of resolution does Dolly offer? Where is it? Oh, did I already
They
scroll
have
past?
three different resolutions, I think. Don't remember
Image
them.
assistant, fine-tune embedding, other models. There it is. All right, so you have, okay, you have only this resolution right here. So we have 8 cents per image for the better resolutions. Or what is this, HD standard?
Yeah.
Let's calculate with the best or yeah, the most expensive model. So we have 12 cents per image, 24 frames per second. Let me also put my calculator here real quick. So we have $0.0102 times 24. So a second of video would cost $2.88. And they claim that you can generate up to 60-second videos. So yeah,
Yes, but you're assuming that the relation it's linear between like image and time
yeah,
in
yeah,
the video model, right? But this might have like bigger complexity in terms of computational costs.
yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, it is a good like thought experiment to get an idea of like how could this look. But yeah, like you said,
Um,
172, it's already not nothing.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's
I really, really doubt that it is as the same price, if you want to call it, as running
yeah, yeah. And I
Dolly.
wonder how much footage like this would actually cost me on a stock photo video kind of platform. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, if someone would actually be willing to spend this amount of money for a shot like this, maybe, probably, because it would also be very expensive to get two dogs, get into this really nice kind of background setting. Um, yeah, and animators also cost a lot of money. So yeah, it might actually be worth it for some cases.
Yeah, yeah, like we still don't know like what the like cost I forgot the word, but like advantage is going to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, like because sure, like maybe you get something cheaper in some stock video or something, but maybe I saw a video today of it was a dog writing code in a computer, right? Maybe
uh-huh.
nobody has recorded that, so you're not gonna find that there.
That's true.
Uh-huh, but it's also easier to try to dress up your dog and put some strings and delete them with some program, right? So there's a point where like one becomes better than the other. We're not there yet. Where
Yeah,
it well, actually we don't know, but we're not there yet. Probably that it's as accessible that anything. It's definitely better
yeah,
going to just generate it.
for
But
sure.
we'll see once it's out.
I'm also wondering if they will just release it within ChatGPT, similar to how DALL-E 3 is now basically accessible through ChatGPT, or if we will get like a very fancy video editor kind of thing. So yeah, I'm very excited to actually see how they will release this exactly.
Yeah, it is exciting. It is refreshing. Like I was saying, it's not that we got stuck or anything like that. Like don't get me wrong, but the GPT-4 was already very good, so it kind of set the bar high. But there were lots of stuff going on, like lots. But nothing that went beyond anything. Like there was nothing like record breaking, if you want to call it like that.
Hmm, hmm.
Recently, of course. But again, don't get me wrong. There's amazing things going on. Like every day, it's crazy how fast everything moves. I mean, we do this every week, and every week we start with this week we have great things to show. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So, but the jump from what we had in video generation to this, it's just like crazy. It's just crazy. It's like it's the same type against at least for me. It's like when GPT-4 came out, like the big difference between what we had and what that was going to be. Um, it was very good. At least how they advertised it. I don't know if you remember. They had like some very flashy announcement for GPT-4 that was able to see and stuff way before we had vision and stuff. But the point is that it is very like very exciting to see something as big as this being released.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Something that's also interesting is that for GPT-4, they had like this entire kind of demo day. I'm not sure, developer day, I think it
Mhm.
was called, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
super big announcements. People were there. They had people on stage talking. Um, and now they just released it basically on Twitter. Just you know, taking some prompts and
I
actually making a video out of them to showcase
I
that it's real.
think, yeah, I think it because I mean, again, this is all speculation, right? But like we're here, so let's talk about it. I think it is because, like you said, they're still very in the making sure this is not as disruptive in a bad way as it can be, right? Testing, checking.
Yes.
We know that everything here was made without any modification because that's how it was uh, explained. But in the event that you're mentioning, everything was like basically ready or almost ready for commercial use, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
only
true.
thing that maybe like was pushed a little bit was the GPTs, which we both know it's not really like a model or anything. It's just them adjusting what they already have to have this very nice use case of their language models.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they kind of made it like a big deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what they sell, like literally to the general public, which is ChatGPT, So I get the we're gonna release it because it's there, it's ready, but we might not make it a big thing because it could be a double-edged sword in case anything happens.
That's true.
At least that's my point of view, but again, I might be wrong. This is all uh, conjectures.
So yeah, overall, just very exciting things. Something else that is interesting to note is that Sora was released just a couple of hours after this release right here. So
Yeah,
Google released a new version of Gemini. Uh, they should really kind of fix all these naming things. We had a lot of renames recently. So yeah, Gemini 1.5 is supposed to be better than the old Gemini Ultra model that was
oh
not even public yet.
yeah,
And it's supposed to be as good as the Gemini Pro model, which was basically the
yeah.
publicly available model
Uh-huh.
that was basically released like 2 weeks ago or something like this. Uh,
Wait, so it's better than both, like than Pro and than Ultra, right?
it is as good as Pro.
But
No,
Pro wasn't as good
it's
as Ultra,
yeah, yeah, it's
so
okay. Yeah, yeah, I think I mixed this up. So it's better than Pro and
and
as
it's as
good as
good as
Ultra.
Ultra.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, let's have a closer look here because there are some very interesting things to mention. So it's using the mixture of expert approach, and yeah,
Maybe let's zoom in a little bit on that,
yeah, can
if
you?
you can. Yeah,
Yes, that's fine.
perfect.
Okay, let's do it like this. So yeah, it's using this mixture of experts approach, and rumors are is that GPT-4 is actually also using this approach. So this is not confirmed, but it's rumors. That this is actually how they were able to achieve such a great performance for relatively low costs. So yeah, it's multimodal, so you can input basically text, photos, and videos, and audio. Um, Here you can see it performs at a similar level to 1.0 Ultra. Uh,
Yes.
and then this is also something very important to mention. It also introduced a breakthrough in experimental features in long context understanding. So Gemini 1.0 comes with a standard 128 token context window. So this is basically the new industry standard for now. We've seen that the GPT-4 model, the GPT, what was called Turbo model, um, also has this 128K token context window. But this window can scale up to 1 million tokens within AI Studio and Vertex AI. But it gets even bigger if we have a look at the technical report in a second. Or maybe let's do it right now. So this is the technical report right here. And I will explain this on this text example. So right here, you can see that this is basically the entire prompt up to 1 million tokens. Right here, you can see the depth, and you can see that this is basically a method, so it's called text haystack, where a tiny piece of information is put into the prompt, and then the model tries to retrieve this tiny piece of information from this huge chunk of text. Um, and the red dots right here are basically where the model failed to retrieve this small piece of information. Um, but you can see that the model overall performed very well to do this. And right here, this block right here is 0 to 1 million tokens. But they went even further to 2 to 10 million tokens within a single prompt, which is very, very impressive to have 10 million tokens in a single prompt and still have great retrieval capabilities. That's pretty insane. Um, and I actually saw another curve where they basically plotted a graph to show the kind of diminishing capabilities in relation to the context window size. And it shows that you can actually go further than 10 million, um, which is also insane to think about. Yeah, because,
Just for context, for the people who are watching, like we're talking about millions of tokens.
yeah,
Like, uh, let's say, let's like it says there 10 million tokens, 7 million words. Just so you get an idea, if I'm not mistaken, the whole Lord of the Rings book series, it's about 500,000 words,
yeah, yeah,
and we're talking 7 million. So just for context, because it's when it becomes big numbers, it's hard to really like measure how much is 10 million, right? Like, of course, 100,000, 200,000, now a million, like it's a lot already. Like, what's the difference? Just so people know. But sorry, you were saying?
yeah. There's also an example right here with a 44-minute movie. So this is actually something new that images are also kind of counted as tokens. So this is cool. But yeah, maybe let's have a quick look at this 2-minute video right here, because it showcases these capabilities really well.
This is a demo of long context understanding, an experimental feature in our newest model, Gemini 1.5 Pro. We'll walk through a screen recording of example prompts using a 44-minute Buster Keaton film, which comes out to over 600,000 tokens. In Google AI Studio, we uploaded the video and asked, "Find the moment when a piece of paper is removed from the person's pocket and tell me some key information on it with the timecode." This screen capture is sped up, and this timer shows exactly how long it took to process each prompt. And keep in mind that processing times will vary. The model gave us this response, explaining that the piece of paper is a pawn ticket from Goldman and Company pawnbrokers with the date and cost, and it gave us this timecode 1201. When we pulled up that timecode, we found it was correct. The model had found the exact moment the piece of paper is removed from the person's pocket, and it extracted text accurately. Next, we gave it this drawing of a scene we were thinking of and asked, "What is the timecode when this happens?" This is an example of a multimodal prompt, where we combine text and image in our input.
So yeah, maybe I will just stop this right here. So yeah, he drew this small image, and yeah, he can just input this into the conversation with some text. Yeah, now the model tries to find
The
the
model
exact
returned this
place.
timecode, 1534. We pulled that up and found that it was the correct scene. Like all generative models, responses vary and won't always be perfect.
Yeah, and right here we have that the exact scene. Yeah, this is pretty crazy that you can go from this little doodle drawing right here to the exact point in the movie where this happens. Um, so yeah,
I
the
agree.
understanding that is needed to actually do all these things within a conversation is pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, I am a bit skeptical when it comes to things as good as this. We've seen this plenty of times.
Yeah,
We've been talking about Gemini. We had that the incident with the doc video, right?
yeah,
So it makes you wonder how. Like, I always say the same. I really always say the same. But I guess we'll know once we have access to all of this. But even if it's, let's say, half as good as it shows, that's already insanely good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's already something that, like, it like we are deep in this whole AI stuff, and it's still very shocking to see stuff like this. So so yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll all have access to these toys real soon, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it's also very exciting to see these sort of career ongoing in this AI like whole space, right?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, similar to Sora, they're doing their safety testings with red teams. Yeah, try to reduce the safety risks that are associated with releasing such a model. So yeah, please speed this up and give us the API access already. Um, I'm very excited to actually test these models out, and yeah, for sure build very cool applications with this. Um, yes, okay, let's move on to the next thing because we are running out of time basically. So NVIDIA released this RTX chat, which is an application that you can run on your RTX NVIDIA graphics card to chat locally about with a large language model or to chat about like your documents. And it also has some more capabilities like downloading and YouTube videos and then asking questions about these videos. So let's have a look. So yeah, super cool to see this. It's nothing new. So we had these kind of RAG systems, RAG chats, basically since the release of GPT models. Um, but yeah, I think the fact is interesting that this is coming directly from NVIDIA, and also that it's a application that you can run locally without a lot of issues. So I actually tried to install this, but I had issues. For me, it didn't want to start. Not sure why, but yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I guess it's up like I don't know which hardware do you have, but I guess they made it with their hardware in mind, of course, obviously.
yeah,
It's optimized for that, and I think the key part here is that it's meant to cover this privacy issue. Like you said, this
yeah,
is not nothing new. Like these document loaders from LangChain, for example, are very similar to what they do with the YouTube and this and that. And it is a RAG interface. But like you said, like since it's locally, it's I guess it's meant to cover that aspect of these privacy whole considerations that it's a big issue, very big issue for most like startups that want to use this type of technologies.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, pretty cool. I use this type of functionality a lot, so definitely cool to have.
yeah, yeah. It's actually during the installation you can select the Mistral model, which is also cool
Hmm.
to see. Um, yeah. So yeah, super cool to see this. I actually hope we will get more of these kinds of applications, because if you have this super expensive, high performance graphics card at home, why not use it for these kinds of applications? Um, yeah, so I would love to actually see more in this area. All right. This is actually the last thing we will talk about. So we have a new feature within ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can now kind of store memories about you, and then kind of retrieve this memory in all different conversations that you have. And I think this is a great feature because for me, for example, I'm often using ChatGPT to draft emails. At the end, it always fills like the name with just square brackets and then your name here or something like this. And yeah, I just want ChatGPT to remember my name and fill this information out by itself. And I'm sure that this will be possible with this new feature. So there are also some more examples right here. So this person has a 2-year-old daughter named Lena. Uh, Loves to travel. Who doesn't? Um, is interested in traveling. Yeah. Likes concise, straightforward, and less emotive blog posts. This is also something because I'm always writing like, okay, fix my code, but don't show me the updated lines. Instead, fix the entire piece of code so I can then copy paste it back. Yeah, and I always have to write this under my prompt. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
this is a great addition.
we had some sort of attempt to fix these issues with these custom instructions, right? But like you said, there's only as much as you can do with custom instructions.
Yeah.
I also see that this could be counterproductive sometimes. I don't know. I mean, it's just like a situation that I can imagine it remembering something, but it's not what I want. So, for example, and it just goes against my prompt. Like we will need to see how does it handles all of these things because imagine this is just a very random situation, but let's say I want to make a something that it's blue, and I told it that my favorite color it's green, and I tell it like make it in a color I like, and it makes it green. I'm like no, but I want it blue, and it makes it green, right? Why? Because that prompt is maybe supersedes these or some sort of like conflict issues that I do see I've seen happening before. So that's why like that's where my mind went. But yeah, it is. I see also a lot of relief in these things that you have to keep saying and saying and saying over and over again. So, but we'll see. Like it depends a lot on how they handle the whole mechanic, right?
So yeah, you actually have the option to turn it off. But yeah, I get your point that it might actually be counterproductive at yeah at at some points.
Yeah,
Um,
to some extent
yeah,
could
you can
be.
also delete. That's also very important.
Yeah, that's very useful.
Because
And I think that goes to what I was saying. Like
yeah,
there has to be something that might not be good, so they give you the okay, like you don't want it to remember this.
yeah,
So
because I'm sure
that's
that it
very
will
good.
pick up false information from time to time. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. But yeah, having like this very nice ability to manage all of this, yeah, or to turn it off completely, is very nice. And I'm sure it will help more than it will actually cause, yeah, pain. So yeah, just having this is very cool, and I hope this will also roll out to more persons soon.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that they. Of course, I don't think it's going to happen, but I would. They would share this like whole. You know, I like this whole memory like topic. We've been talking about it for a while. Um, so I like that they would like share like okay, we're handling memory this way because maybe they're just
Uh huh.
embedding their whole conversations and doing some sort of RAG optimized for this specific like use case or for ChatGPT or whatever, right? But yeah, that would be cool. Like maybe I haven't read this, so I don't know how much it says. So definitely should read it first.
Yeah,
But yeah, it would be cool to know how these things are handled.
yeah, for sure. I
Also,
also, yeah,
oh yeah, sorry, go.
you go on first.
No, the mine it's unrelated. It's to a comment I just saw we
Yeah,
have.
mine is also somewhat unrelated. So I actually hope that ChatGPT will be open sourced at some point, because there are some things. So I'm not sure why it isn't. Maybe it's security. Maybe it's like faster pace of development if it's not open source. But I kind of want to see how all these things are managed in the background, how a prompt is created, how they use RAG within a conversation. All of these things are very exciting to see. I want to see how they're using the function calling for Dolly 3. Uh, I want to see how they are using the code interpreter. Um, these are like open questions that I need
Yeah.
answered. Yeah, so I hope they will open source this at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great. It would be great. I mean, I don't see any indications that that will happen anytime soon.
Actually, there's
But
something like Sam Altman tweeted at some point that like what the users want, and there were a lot of calls for more open source stuff. Not sure if this is referring to like open source models or research, but yeah, maybe this is also in the ChatGPT direction.
okay, so this is unrelated. Uh, what I was saying, I just saw we have a comment about someone wondering how they reach out to LabLab officially because of some hackathon they participated. So just to let you know that I messaged someone while we were in the conversation, so they let me know that they're verifying the situation. and that you should reach out to Dina. I don't know if you know Dina. You can find her information in the lablab server, and they're verifying the situation. So sorry for any inconvenience, but like yeah, I just wanted to let the person who commented know that. So reach out to Dina on the lablab server, and you can take it from there. Hopefully, they can help you figure things out.
Yeah, thank you. All right, and with this, our stream comes to an end because we will have another stream here very shortly. We have the workshops coming up. So yes, if you like these kinds of technologies, if you're interested in them, make sure to check out lablab.ai. We have tons of hackathons all the time about all these kind of things. And I think one that is very fitting right here is the Gemini hackathon. Yeah, you can test around with all these different models, find out their capabilities, learn a lot, and build awesome applications. So yeah, make sure to enroll here. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you to everyone who's watching. And yeah, we will see you next Tuesday. So yeah, have a great day.